Hello, and welcome to this Integral Alliance video where I want to explain how to report your income for a disaster at 3 months. I just want to quickly remind you how to log into our members area. So from Chrome, which is the best browser to use, please go up here and from there open a guest window in Chrome and you'll see you're now browsing as a guest. Here type members.integralalliance.org, which should take you to the login screen for the members area. Here, you need to enter the login details that you were sent with the email. If you have any difficulty logging in, please just get in touch with me, Amy McDonald. Thank you. Now, I'm already logged in as Integral. So this is the home screen you should see when you log in. And you want to choose View Disaster Responses, this icon here. And then you need to choose the disaster that you're reporting for. Today I'm going to choose Hurricanes Eta and Iota. And that takes us to the disaster overview screen, where you will always see this row of icons along the top. Today we're reporting income, so we want to choose this icon. Here, you're asked to report in 6 categories. Those categories are listed here, so we want to know where your income has come from, how much you've received from institutional donors, how much from other members, and how much from other sources. And then we want you to report how much funding you've allocated to partners or to other Integral members, and also, if you're an operational member only, how much funds you've already allocated to your own operational programs. Now, that's only if you're running an operational program as part of this disaster response. So to report in each of these categories, you use this drop-down list here. So the first thing I'm going to report is from institutional donors. So I'm going to say that as Integral, we received $10,000 from institutional donors. So I enter the figure there and then click Submit. And that amount will then appear on the right-hand side of the page so you can see what you've entered. So I've done institutional donors, go down to the next category, from members. How much funds have you received from a member? Well, I'm going to choose Cell France. You've generously given us $50,000. And again, I must submit that record. And it may be that another member has also funded our programs. So you can then choose another member and enter that here. So I'm going to choose Tearfund Canada. They're having funded us another $10,000. And again, submit. And every time you submit an entry, it should appear in this table here. So I've done 2 categories now, from institutional donors, from members, from other sources is the third one. And that's all the funds that you've raised from your own supporters, from private trusts, from your own reserves, whatever other funds are allocated to this disaster response. So £30,000, I'm going to enter here. And again, when I click Submit, that appears here. So I've now reported where our income has come from. And I'm now going to move on to reporting how I've spent that income. So it may be that I'm funding another member. I'll say Medair are operational in this response. So I've funded them for $50,000. I submit that. And then that appears over here. Now you could be funding more than one member. So you then need to go back and enter another member here. If you've reported all the funding you've allocated to members, move on to report any funding you've allocated to local partners. And again, you get a drop-down list to choose the name of the partner. here. So by clicking in the box, you get a list of partners, and you can either scroll down or you can start typing and it will jump to the partner you're looking for. So I'm going to choose this partner and enter $45,000 allocated to their part of this response. And again, you'll see that appears in this table. Now, only if you're operational, it may be that you are not funding anyone else, but you've allocated funds to your own operational programs. So if that's the case, please enter how much funding you've allocated to your own operational programs. And we ask this so we can get a really clear picture of how funds have been allocated, but also what funds realistically remain unspent at the end of a response. So I'll imagine that Integral are operational in this response and have allocated $20,000 to our operational program. So now I've worked through all 6 categories here. If for any one of them they don't apply to you, please enter 0. Still select it, but enter 0 for that category rather than leaving it blank or skipping it. So I've now reported where my funding has come from and how I've allocated it in the first 3 months of this response. And you're ready to move on to step 2 of 2. This page just shows you what you've already entered. So by clicking here, you can again see everything that you entered on the previous page. If you need to edit it at this point, you can delete records here. So I am going to delete this funding from Tier Fund Canada. I entered that incorrectly. I got mixed up. So I'm going to delete that. Checks, am I sure I want to? Yes, I am. Delete. And then you need to again click here and you can see that that record has disappeared. Once you're happy that what's in this table is correct, you can view all the income that's been reported for this response or return to the disaster overview and you're finished. Thank you very much for doing this.